World Championship.
Aí ele vai falar.
Cara, nos primeiros dias ali, grindando, não tava muito confortável. Não tava muito confortável não, mas tava me adaptando aí no field. Jogando pouca mesa, colocando 1 ou 2 mesas durante o meu grind normal. A gente runou bem no começo, mas nada assim, acho que runamos 2 bains acima do EV, ficamos uns 20k, depois perdemos, mas cheguei a ficar um pouco down no challenge. Eu acho que assim, teve algum dia ali que eu ganhei 50k, fiquei já confortável. Pô, eu tive um dia muito bom, que eu acho que eu ganhei quase 100k no dia, uns 90, 100k eu ganhei no dia. Isso aí já me levou lá pro top 5 por ali, já fiquei entre os top 5. E cara, depois nunca mais desci, cara. Fui subir nos ranks, fiquei bastante tempo em terceiro, em quarto, em quinto ali, flutuando quinto, quarto, terceiro. Acho que eu tive poucos dias downs no challenge, dias que eu perdi um pouco, sei lá, teve um dia que eu cheguei a perder 100k, que é bastante, mas em bainha é 10 bainhas, é de boa. Mas cara, foi uma runada bem boa assim, foi bem tranquilo, graças a Deus runamos bem.
Bora lá, chegou na casa do Pedrão pra esse dia.
Fala, Zinhas! Bora, porra!
Vamos?
Vambora!
Gente?
Porra,
Bora.
pra caralho, vambora, vamos gravar essa
nóis.
porra.
Bora. Deixa eu lembrar, qual foi? 2022.
Esse aqui foi o primeiro que eu fui.
Grind Machine, Highlander, Player do ano e agora o...
Aqui, Player do ano de novo.
Jogador do ano. Jogador do ano. Caralho, 2 jogadores do ano só, devia ter mais aí.
Esse é o problema seu, né?
Não é meu, é dos caras, né?
Isso aí não tá no meu...
Nossa, que massa, velho. Eu nem sabia que os caras tinham mandado.
Eles mandaram no...
Aí, ó. Jogador de Cash Game do ano, Mundo Poker Awards, e ele tem 2 jogadores do ano do Metagame. 2024.
Você ficou bem massa isso aqui, né?
Nossa, esse ficou mais tesão. Tipo, esse aqui é massa. Mas, porra,
esse é mais da hora, O Metagame fez parte de tudo isso. Eu tentava fazer a parada sem um rumo, sem mentores. Então, assim, eu ia por conta e, cara, é muito mais difícil. Se alguém já traçou o caminho, segue o que o cara fez, que vai dar bom. E foi o que eu fiz, cara. Eu entrei no time, sempre confiei 100% na metodologia. Não era um cara de questionar muito. Então, o cara me falava, faz isso, eu fazia isso. E é uma coisa que a galera passa no começo. Pô, se a gente tá te falando aqui, faz o que a gente tá te falando. A gente quer que você ganhe. Então, pô, o time foi 100% influência na carreira, né? As pessoas responsáveis por isso são as pessoas que tiveram no seu caminho. Você, o Saulo, o Tirelli, todos os coaches que eu tive, todos os meus amigos do Metagame que eu estudei junto. Ainda aprendo com vários dos meus amigos que, pô, são melhores tecnicamente que eu, e eu estudo com todo mundo e aprendo com todo mundo. Então todo mundo tem uma grande influência, né, cara? Então... Cara, são 1 da tarde do dia 7
de dezembro.
Último dia do Cash Game World Championship.
Último dia.
Estamos na liderança aí por $1.000 de diferença, esperando o segundo lugar sentar, se ele toma posto. E estamos aí na ansiedade máxima.
Porque assim, cara, a gente sabe que, pô, tem uma variância do caralho, 30 mil mãos, 40 mil mãos, independente, né? 50, 60 vai ter uma variância absurda. Eu sinto que alguns dos caras, eu não sei se eles realmente não ligam, tipo, os caras ficam dando farinha no chat lá, o Jason Game, esses outros. Eles querem ser muito, tipo, posar de superiorzão, do tipo, eu não ligo. Porque, porra, uma parada que é muito...
Lógico que liga. Todo mundo liga. Todo mundo
né?
liga. Você não tava jogando, porra. Lógico que liga, pô. Só que depois o cara viu que não vai ter arrunado, o cara fica lá queimando, tá ligado? Dando falinho, caralho, podcast, não sei o quê. Mas todo mundo liga, senão ninguém jogava, pô. Só tem reggae na parada. O Prod mesmo tava falando, tipo, não tô nem pelo Rolex, eu quero ganhar mesmo uma parada. Porque todo mundo falou que a primeira vez que eu ganhei foi runado, não sei o quê, agora a segunda eu não vou ter como falar, tá ligado? Cara, assim, eu fiquei um pouco impressionado, assim, porque sempre que você vai subindo de limite, você sempre vai vendo aqueles caras que ficam dando trash talk, que fica te xingando no chat, isso é comum, mas quanto mais você vai subindo de limite, isso meio que vai parando, né? Então, tipo assim, os regras já estão acostumados com variância, já estão acostumados com resultado, então o cara não fica te xingando porque ele perdeu uma mão pra você. Ele, pô, o cara já tá fazendo isso há anos. E eu fiquei impressionado de chegar no challenge e a galera trash talkando pra caralho, assim, tá ligado? Os caras que são profissional da parada há anos, trash talkando, falando um monte de bosta. Eu achei meio pai, assim, na real. Eu falei, pô, esses caras, pô, tinha maior respeito pela galera, os caras jogam isso aqui há anos e tá ficando queimado porque perdeu um bain, cara. Pelo amor de Deus, né? Alguns dos caras, até depois que eu ganhei, vieram pedir desculpa, falou, pô, foi mal trash talkear, parabéns pelo resultado. Alguns caras fizeram isso, outros não. Mas eu acho que faz parte do jogo também, às vezes a estratégia do cara de querer trash talkear, pô, faz parte, a pessoa queima também, mas eu fiquei, assim, impressionado da galera trash talkear tanto. Serviu de motivação pra caralho, cara. É, tipo, uma galera falando como que se eu não merecesse estar ali, os resultados que eu tivesse tendo não era mérito meu, e eu falei, porra, então senta, assiste.
Esse cara é o cara que a gente tá torcendo contra, que é o Prod. Ele tem que pegar...
Opa!
Fold. Fold é muito bom.
O chove
call, re as as. Chove call, re as as. Ai, meu Deus.
Só que ele tá muito tight aqui, velho.
Nossa.
Snampou. Ice 4 contra 9-9.
Hoje. Vamos, primeira nossa.
Mas é flip também, né? Isso que eu... É.
Porra, você vai falar que é flip, caralho.
Mas é, tipo, o que importa é ver, porra.
Ah, é verdade.
É. O que importa é ver.
Caralho, foda torcer assim.
É foda, velho. O que importa é ver.
Porra, é TV do caralho. Que seja também normal, cara. Porra, ele não tem por que torcer pra bater as cartas.
Exato, velho. Eu tinha que abrir morto, tá ligado? Eu tinha que abrir um eyes ali pra, tipo, ser sua broca, né?
Nossa.
Ah! Filha da puta, velho. É, temos que entrar.
Pagou, morreu.
Pagou, morreu.
Onde tá bom também.
Pagou? Opa, ele voltou na outra mesa também, velho.
Ué?
Por causa do EV, esse pá. Ele tá 1000 só na frente, né?
Tava 2 mil, passou muito pouquinho.
Tá, 2000 de EV, só que eu tava 900 na frente dele, então ele tava só 1.200 na minha frente. Tá 1.100 na minha frente.
Sim.
E aí ele ganhou, ele splitou um bagulho que ele tinha tipo 40 e pouco de ganhar, né?
Ele tá na frente.
Mas acho que é bem pouco. E ele voltou, deixa ele agora, velho. Vamos ver o que rola.
Vamos!
Aqui também tá tendo
Olê. Livre.
Cara, o Prod é muito bom, o Dave é muito bom, o Kevin é muito bom. Todos os caras que estavam ali eram muito bons. Porra, velho, o Linus tava perdendo, porra, o Linus é um monstro, né? Então, assim, não tinha ninguém ruim ali, né? Todo mundo que tava ali era muito bom, também de horário de jogar e tal. Então, assim, o Kevin foi um cara que botou muito volume, que eu joguei muito com também, um cara que deu muito trabalho, um cara muito bom, muito agressivo. O Dave também, um cara muito sólido, cara, sendo bizarro, um cara muito bom. Todo mundo ali muito bom, mas eu acho que o que mais me surpreendeu assim mesmo foi o Kevin, o Prod e o Dave. Ele abriu, né? Tipo, eu vou catar... A hora que eu passar ele, eu vou quitar, né? Ele catou puta vantagem. É, pô.
Quanto você tava up dele?
800.
Exato. Vamos, pagou! Vamos! Eles estavam tipo, passando por pouco, cada um se passando por pouco. Aí o Pedro tava na frente, o Prod entrou pra jogar, só que o Prod ganhou um buy-in, uma parada tipo, que é, tipo, ele ganhou bastante, ele ganhou 10 mil dólares, né? Aí ficou tipo 11k e pouco na frente do Pedro, aí o Pedro conseguiu ganhar 12 e pouco. Eu quero estar fazendo isso, né? Não é um negócio que eu tô fazendo, porra, vou ter que jogar. Não é um negócio que eu faço um itinerário, não, eu vou jogar de tal a tal hora. Eu quero estar fazendo isso, eu gosto de estar fazendo isso. Se eu não tô jogando, eu sinto falta, eu quero estar jogando. Então, assim, é natural, né? Eu não me esforço pra fazer isso, não é que eu seja, pô, eu vou jogar, vou botar tantas horas e cronômetro, tanto de hora que eu vou jogar. Eu jogo porque eu gosto. Então, se eu tô em casa, eu tô jogando. Se eu não tô em casa, eu tô pensando em jogar. Então é isso, pô. Cara, eu acho muito massa, velho. Se reúne todo mundo ali, você pode ver que tem cara que tá grindando em Macau, os jogos caríssimos, você pega os caras
caras que estão descendo de limite pra jogar 10k, os caras só jogam muito caro. Todo mundo quer participar, né? Você vê todos os nomes ali, poucos caras você não viu, que provavelmente deviam ter alguma outro compromisso e não conseguiram participar, mas todos os grandes nomes do cast estão lá, todos. Então, o cara tá do mundo inteiro parando de jogar em Macau, parando de jogar na Coreia pra ir jogar essa parada. Então, é insano conseguir reunir toda essa galera. É muito pica, velho.
Vamos, China! Blefandinho?
Tava?
Uhum.
Viu, chudão?
Vala 9 off. Pagou? Bluff?
Ah, não, velho! Ô, louco, mano. Ah, esses caras, velho.
Meu Deus do céu.
Passou de novo, velho.
Cara, que loucura isso, velho. Vamos, porra!
Ui, caralho, essa porra, velho, vai se fuder, mano. Que jogo do inferno, velho.
Tamo 826 up.
Vai ir, falei.
Vamos. Cara, pior que 826 é o quê?
Ah, velho, foda-se, velho.
É 8 bebê?
É, mas é a chance dele derreter, tá ligado?
Que loucura, velho.
Ele não voltou, né?
Ah, já deixa aberto aí pra gente ver. Se cai.
Já
voltou. Caralho, velho, tem que tirar o chapéu pra esse filho da puta também, né? Filha da puta.
750 dele. Mas ele perdeu algum em algum?
Ele tá no meio daquele namoro.
Nossa, pelo amor de Deus, cara, insuportável isso, velho.
É, então vamos fazer. Fala pra fazer um acordo.
Não, agora já tá aqui, pô. Agora nós vamos até o final essa merda, velho.
Vai ficar mais tarde pra ele, né?
É.
Pra gente vai ser 9 da noite, pra ele vai ser meia-noite, mas ele...
É safe também, ele acordou tarde.
É, ele dorme tarde. Nerdola.
Por que pra vocês é só até 9?
Porque ele tá esse moleque é inglês.
Ó, toma code for bet.
Tomou code for bet?
Toma code.
Opa. Chance de... Cara, errei as eyes agora.
Uma vez, velho, uma vez,
por
velho.
favor, um cooler contra, vai, pra ele ficar 7k. Não, 8k down.
Mais, né?
Mais.
10, pô.
8 mais
8,
tá.
né?
Ó, chovou.
Ah, chovou.
Pagou, rei as eyes.
Isso! Isso, porra, vamos! Vamos, caralho!
Quanto que dá isso?
30, é.
70-30, vamos?
70-30, porra, vamos, caralho!
Vamos. E vai perder outro pote lá também.
Vai,
Surtou
surtou.
contra o China. Ó, imagine o Jun acertou aquela buraquinha agora. Que ele vala 9 e ele 5 e 6.
Nossa senhora, por favor.
9k, chove.
Por favor, chinês. Cara, ô... Que queimação esse moleque, velho do céu, mano. O bicho não perde, mano.
Sick mesmo.
Nossa, velho.
Caralho, fritou esse aí. Vamos lá. Bora, Pedrão. Foco. Esquece a pressão, velho. Mete bala, esquece a pressão, mete bala
tá
nessas porra.
Agora tá de boa, eu fico na pressão quando eu fico assistindo prod, agora tá suave.
Ele só mandou up aqui. Vamos ver quanto que é. Tamo 4.500 na frente.
Vamos, porra!
Caralho, velho.
Quadrei na cabeça do flanche. Ai, que nada, velho.
Quem vacilou?
Ninguém, velho. Os dois jogou perfeito e aconteceu.
Mas quem que era o cara? Quem que foi o cara?
O chinês que tinha um pulo do caralho.
Jean. Até que enfim, aquele desgraçado, tava toda hora.
Cara, a maioria dos caras lá não tinha jogado, né? Tipo, o Linus eu nunca tinha jogado, o Dave eu nunca tinha jogado. O Prod e o Kevin eu acho que foram os caras que eu mais tinha jogado, mas foi pouco assim na GG, né? Não é o limite que eles jogam, eles costumam jogar mais caro. Alguns caras de lá eu já tinha jogado. O Cindy eu jogo bastante, é o cara que eu jogo diariamente, o Law Voidaments. Então ele é um cara que eu grindo, eu acho que é o único cara assim que eu tinha bastante sample junto. O resto dos caras nunca nem tinha jogado, né? Porra, foi animal, cara. Mas assim, nunca tive essa perspectiva de achar que os caras são imbatíveis, os caras são ser humano igual a gente. Eu sei que os caras são muito bons, muito pica, mas eu também sou, então sentar lá e jogar, você pode até pecar em alguma coisa tecnicamente, os caras estão mais afiados em algumas paradas, mas a gente também tem outras valências que a gente consegue imprimir no CV. Então foi isso, cara, foi animal. Eu acho que a parte mais massa do poker são essas reg battles, né? Você tá disputando ali contra profissional, tá se testando, os caras te botando na porta o tempo todo, então eu acho que a parte mais da hora é isso, tá ligado? Então eu sempre gostei de fazer, mas eu não vinha fazendo porque como o meu grind principal é na GG, o reiki é absurdo, então você acaba tendo que fazer pra conseguir mesas boas e tal, mas é uma coisa que você acaba tendo que evitar, porque senão o reiki te mata. Então, assim, ter essa oportunidade de jogar uma parada sem reiki e poder meter o pau é animal.
E aí?
E meu pai, cara.
E aí, patrão? Bom animal?
Beleza?
Bora? Chegou pra festa do título? Do menino, nosso menino de ouro. Bora.
Vem. Vem, fica à vontade aí.
E aí,
Puta que
nossa,
pariu, velho.
velho, já você viu hoje, né? Trocou o bagulho umas 5 vezes já, cara. Ei, o Kevin ganhou um 4-bet pot do Prod agora.
Mentira. Vamos? Quanto? Você bet fold.
É bet fold.
Ah, mas 2K é pouco, né?
Sim. Tá 10k atrás.
10K atrás? Vamos, porra!
E o Kevin tava uns... Ele chegou e arrotou 2 bain, velho. Ele arrotou um bain pro jungle e arrotou um outro bain pro outro cara. Então ele tá tipo uns 70 atrás. Aí agora que ele ganha do Prod, ele tira do Prod e os dois ficam longe, tá ligado?
Nossa, que sonho, velho. Vamos. Começou a dar um fall, agora é só pra baixo.
Agora é só pra baixo,
É só pra baixo, velho. Tá demorando demais pra esse cara perder,
Ó, que
velho.
dá pra nós sentar lá, né? Tomar o dinheiro desses caras. Imagina sentar lá e começar a rotar pros caras ainda.
Bom, estamos jogando aí. Já teve várias trocas de liderança.
Agora são 5h19, teve umas 5, 6 trocas de liderança hoje.
5, 6 trocas de liderança hoje.
Ontem
Faltando 3
tiveram
horas e
várias.
meia pra acabar o desafio.
Tamo na frente.
Estamos na frente por 6 mil de diferença e estamos aí, na ansiedade, aguardando.
Tiveram várias trocas. Primeira foi... Começou 200 atrás, passou do 800 na frente, 1 atrás, aí o Pedro chegou a ficar 12 pra trás, aí o Prod passou, aí o Tex Here chegou, doou um pouco de dinheiro para uns outros e aí tomou do Prod. Aí eles começaram a jogar HU, aí atrapalhou o nosso tracking aqui. Que só vale 300 plus, mas é isso aí.
Vambora.
Tamo na frente. Bora, Bilu! Tomara que não precise mais entrar pra jogar.
Nossa, se Deus quiser, velho. Caralho, vamos, Bragão, caralho!
Aí, vamos! Desandou.
Vamos, porra!
Desandou a maionese.
38,
Vamos.
velho. Vamos, caralho!
E o Kevin? Kevin Lamar. É capaz do Kevin tá na frente dele.
Pô, perdeu, mal. Que sonho, porra!
Ô, caralho.
Perdeu mais um, velho.
Fui. Não ia dar tempo. Vou ver se eu vou a 7.
Boa. Perdeu mais um, mano.
O que rolou?
Fuma EV, velho.
Hã?
Fuma EV, velho. Prod, é. Perdeu pro
E o
deck.
Kevin, cadê?
O Kevin tá bem pra trás, ó. Saiu aqui, ó. Tá bem safe, velho. O Kevin tá tipo 70k, 60k pra trás, velho. E ele acabou de perder mais 10 aqui.
Ah, então eles são parecidos agora.
É.
Vamos, Bilu, tá com
Daí ele deu snap, velho. Porra.
E eu falei, nossa.
cagaço,
Ele deu snap e tava perdendo.
Não, olha a parada,
perdendo.
olha a parada, olha a parada. A hora que ele checou, eu falei, puta, mano. E aí, quanto diferença?
50.
Vamos, porra!
50.
Vamos, porra.
Tendo de mais de os caras não estão pra dentro da nossa cima.
Tamo aí, faltando 1h40 pra acabar. Uma liderança de 40k na frente ainda. Um pouco confortável, mas ainda tem muito jogo. Mas estamos confiantes, bora lá. Mano, 15k ele fez agora, velho. Vai tomar no cu, mano. Nossa senhora, mano. O deck do céu, velho. Não paga, velho. Meu Deus do céu, mano. O cara jogando... Nossa. Ansioso pra caralho, velho. Sem poder fazer porra nenhuma, só assistindo esses filha da puta jogando. Muito osso, velho. Muito osso. Cara, como eu já tô na liderança, eu tô meio que garantido, né? Então não vale a pena eu arriscar, poder entrar, acabar perdendo e passar de graça o primeiro lugar pro segundo, né? Então eu só espero, deixo ele buscar e caso ele me passe, eu entro pra tentar recuperar. Meu Deus do céu, cara, velho. Esses caras tão de brincadeira, mano. Olha o jeito que joga 8-8, mano. Vamos, caralho! Vamos, Kevin! Cara, ele perdeu um pote bem grande agora, bem importante, perdeu uns 15 mil. Abriu bastante a diferença de novo. Deu pra dar respirada. Vambora. Cara, deve dar uns 30 de novo.
E aí? Como é que estão?
Nossa, tá próximo.
Suetezinha. E aí, tudo bom? Prazer.
Meu pai, minha mãe.
Ah, teu pai tá
Todo mundo
Quem que é esse velho aqui? Tá louco?
Ah, chegar então podia ser teu sogro?
Ah, é. Meu sogro não é daqui.
Ah, não é daí.
Já tava
Nossa
sofrendo,
senhora.
né?
Não, e eu que fui na missa, e aí, pô, não tá no celular, mas pediu bastante por nós, viu?
Nossa, obrigado.
Bora, meu menino, bora.
Vamos! Folgou,
Ai,
velho!
Graças a Deus, velho.
Ele tinha rei, mano.
Ele tinha esse rei! Vamos, Kevin, seu monstro! Vamos, Kevin!
Olha lá, cara.
Ele tinha esse rei, velho!
Esse rei com nada aí, velho.
Jesus, esse rei de diamante, velho! O cara perdeu, puxou um potaço dele. Joga muito, Kevin. Puta que pariu, velho. É o cara que tava em segundo o tempo todo. E agora tá em terceiro. Nossa, ele fodou um pote de quase 20 mil, velho. Não tinha porra nenhuma.
O que ele tinha, velho?
Nossa! Ele tá sentando a chinela, filho. Tem que passar agora. É. Puta, o Kevin, olha o que o Kevin fez, velho. Olha o que o Kevin fez, velho. Olha essa porra dessa mão, velho.
Olha mesmo.
Olha essa mão, velho.
Viu? É domingo.
Hoje
Quando que você vai ver?
Então eu arranho. Hoje é desencano.
Bora. 20 minutos faltando aí. Kevin Pack e Prod estão meio que empatados, uns 25k atrás. Tem jogo ainda, tensão pra caralho. Mas é isso, vamos ganhar essa porra.
Vamos, Pedrão!
Vamos.
Bilu! E eles estão com uns stack grandes, né?
É.
Falar isso aí, 5 meses, eles estão com uns stack grandes, tipo de 26k, então, tipo. Meu Deus.
Quer provar aí 2 pares, velho?
Não.
2P, né? 2P. 2P eu trinco. Folda, porra. Folda, não vai dar dinheiro pro cara agora, fazendo 3 mil. Não pagou. Tá blifando.
Ah, velho. Ô, mano. Pelo amor de Deus, esses caras são muito esteixo, velho.
Mas como é que o cara acerta a broca, velho? Filha da puta. Deixa eu ver esse.
Meu Deus.
Hold,
Isso, vamos! Vamos, porra! Vamos, caralho! Meu Deus do céu, velho!
Vamos, Argentina. Puxa essa porra, pelo menos.
Eu não tinha mais nada a você, calma.
Ai, que eu tava ficando nervosa.
Pagou certo?
Não, o Prod tá bem perto ainda. Não, o Prod tá 20 atrás. Nossa, o Prod tá 20 atrás, velho. Os dois tem que buscar piscar, velho. 2 barrinhos de 5 minutos, velho. Mano, nunca mais jogo esse evento, velho. Nunca mais, velho. Nunca mais,
Cara, não faz isso.
Mês que vem ele já tá atrás.
Ninguém vai querer jogar.
Nunca mais jogo
Eu não quero jogar mais, mas ano que vem.
Exatamente.
Daqui um ano a gente conversa de novo. Vamos, caralho!
Tex ganhou, ele tava longe.
Tava assim, vamos.
Fiche!
Falta 2 minutos. 1 minuto.
1 minuto e 50.
2 minutos.
Acaba, pelo amor de Deus! Pelo amor de Deus, acaba!
Acabou, calma, espera anunciar, velho.
The stable's not running.
Tá fechando tudo.
Calma, meu Deus do céu.
Metal tá here.
Quanto que dá pra tirar aqui?
Não, tá não tem mais jeito.
Não tem nada.
Não tem como, cara.
Calma, velho. Não vamos virar essa porra, pelo amor de
Calma,
Deus.
não vamos corar.
Então,
Deixa eu ver o Discord lá.
Vai lá ver o Discord.
Não falaram nada aqui nessa porra. Ai, mas eu acho que não tem outra. É nóis. Poker mudou minha vida. Realmente me encontrei na parada. Faço uma parada que eu amo, acordo todo dia com tesão de trampar, de evoluir. Melhorou como pessoa, evolui em várias partes da minha vida pra melhorar no jogo. Então, porra, mudou minha vida da água pro vinho. É oficial, Dragão, tá certo? Pode comemorar? Todo mundo tá dando parabéns, velho.
É um bom sinal, né?
Aqui, pô, vem resposta do Discord.
Não, mas não tem, tá lá, ninguém falou, vamos voltar lá pra ver. Ainda nada oficial.
Ah, que saco.
Tirou? Oficial? Não fala, velho. Pergunta pra mim.
Ele não respondeu?
Não.
Cadê ele? Aí ele vai falar.
O Brasil tem sim um campeão mundial de cash game. E o nome dele é Pedro Toledo, jogador do metagame.
Porra, velho, na real é uma realização de um sonho, né, cara? Eu acho que assim, a partir do momento que teve isso, todo mundo que joga cash game sonha em realizar isso, né? Eu acho que não teria por que não. Um título do caralho, muito foda. Todo o trabalho aí que foi sendo feito, meio que colocado à prova, que tá valendo a pena, né? Não que não tivesse sido antes, mas, pô, receber esse título é coisas que poucas pessoas vão ter oportunidade. Uma parada que rola uma vez no ano, uma parada muito difícil. Então, cara, muito massa, muito massa. Assim, acho que como jogador de cash é um dos maiores feitos que você pode fazer na sua carreira, ganhar uma parada dessa.
Vamos, Bilu! Porra! Campeão! Bora, Bilu!
Inspiração máxima.
Orgulho máximo, né? Meu Deus do céu. Qual a emoção de ver seu filho conquistar o mundo?
Não sei nem o que falar. Ele é famoso, né?
Ele é diferente, né?
Ele sempre foi assim.
Ele sempre foi assim.
Irado.
Parabéns, viu? Parabéns pelo filho. Seu filho conquistar o mundo.
Não sei nem o que falar. Ele é famoso, né?
Ele é diferente, né?
Ele sempre foi assim.
Ele sempre foi assim.
Irado.
Parabéns, viu? Parabéns pelo filho. Seu filho conquistar o mundo.
Não sei nem o que falar.
Oi, sou o Pedro Toledo,
Ele é diferente,
jogador
né?
profissional de cash game e atual
Ele sempre
campeão
foi assim.
mundial da Cash Game World Champion.
Parabéns, viu? Parabéns pelo filho.
Hello, my friends. Woo! I'm sweating. And this happened 5 months ago. What the fuck? Let's go. Can you guys hear me? Tell me in the chat if you guys can hear me. Ooh, my God. Let's get the man, the myth, the man, the legend. Biluzin is here. Hello, my friend.
Hey bro, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I don't even need to ask you. You're probably doing very well, huh, my friend?
Yeah, thank you.
Super, super nice. Really, really happy to have you here in this call after watching this insane documentary produced by your team. So first of all, congrats to the team, to the Metagame team for producing this material. Pablex and all the editors and the assistants. Really, really amazing job done there, because I saw a lot of people saying in the chat how they were anxious and sweating while watching. This is a good sign that the production was well done. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, man, insane. I got anxious all over again just by watching, like living it again. So nice, man. Yeah, gave me goosebumps.
Insane. Now, before we get into the interesting stuff, I'm going to ask here the chat if most people that are watching us right now are actually from Brazil or not, because then it just makes a lot more sense for us to start speaking Portuguese, right? So I'm gonna ask people here in the chat guys in the chat, answer the poll very quickly, just so I can see how many of you are actually here from Brazil, or if you're watching this from another part of the world, because then, well, let's make the language more appropriate, right? So far, 50 votes, almost everyone from Brazil. Então, Pedrão, acho que vamos desligar o
Brasil, é
inglês.
Brasil, caralho.
Vamos no português, tá certo? Muito massa ter a galera aqui, né, nesse evento que a gente acabou, talvez até não fazendo o melhor planejamento possível, mas algo que a gente queria trazer para a comunidade, para mostrar um pouco desses bastidores, porque assim, a vida do jogador de cash game, ela é uma vida que não recebe tanto holofote, né, comparado ao que a gente vê aí no cenário do poker de modo geral. E, bom, a gente precisa se mostrar então, né, já que ninguém vem com as câmeras atrás de nós, a gente tem
A
que...
gente tem que pôr as câmeras, né?
tem que pôr as câmeras e mostrar isso pro mundo, né? Então, cara, primeiramente, já fiz isso, mas quero fazer de novo aqui, em público, na frente do pessoal, te parabenizar por esse feito. Algo realmente incrível, assim. Nem nos meus maiores sonhos de quando fundamos lá o time em 2019, eu e o Zinhão, a gente sonharia de ter contribuído, participar na formação de alguém que chegasse realmente ao topo mundial, né? E você fez isso de uma forma meteórica e a gente sente muito orgulho da tua trajetória, de quem você é e do que você tá fazendo pelo poker brasileiro. Então, parabéns, você é um monstro, cara.
Porra, obrigado, Saulo. Fico lisonjeado com tudo que você disse, cara. Eu já falei isso diversas vezes também, né? Com certeza você foi um dos maiores mentores que eu tive aí no poker, com certeza, né? Acho que foi o cara que eu mais tive contato próximo aí. Um cara que com certeza moldou o jeito que eu penso em poker, me ensinou a pensar sobre poker. Então, para você ter orgulho mesmo que você tem uma gigante parcela nisso aí, cara.
Maravilhoso, mano. I'm seeing some guys in the chat saying that they are from Poland, from Germany. We do have 39% non-Brazilian, so the numbers are getting close to 50-50. So let's try and balance this a little bit, right? Let's try and wing it. A little bit of English, a little bit of Portuguese. Let's try and satisfy everyone, because then we can have a super nice stream here for everyone. All right. Man, I have so many things I want to ask you. I want to use this moment here that we have with us, that we have you with us to basically try and help the guys that are watching right now. So I would imagine that a lot of people watching right now, they take poker seriously, or at least poker is a significant part of their lives. And if they're not professionals, perhaps they're, studying and trying to improve and trying to move up in stakes. And you're someone who has these memories very fresh in your head, right? I went into our records here in the team. You joined us in 2021, right? 2021.
Yeah.
Tell us, for the people who are watching, who was the Pedro of 2021? What were you doing with your life? What were your aspirations? Which limits were you playing? Who was the Pedro of 2021, which was the year that you joined Metagame?
2021, I was actually in college, and I was studying something that I was not like really excited about. Like, I was not seeing myself doing that for the rest of my life. And I always had the dream like of becoming a professional poker player, but it was like a kid's dream, like when you dream about like being an astronaut or being a soccer player. And then I didn't thought it was possible, but I had this dream, and COVID hits, and suddenly I have like a lot of time available, and I'm living with my parents, so I have no expenses, a lot of time. And I thought to myself, man, if this is the time that I have to try to pursue my dream. And I did it, man. I signed up for a metagame, and at the time I was a completely fish. Like, I understand the rules, and had watched some videos, etc. But I wasn't even being able to beat 2NL, so I was
Really?
losing at 2NL.
You were losing at 2-0 in 2021.
Yeah, I was losing at
Holy
2NL,
shit.
and I was going like I didn't have a lot of money because like I was in college, so I would like get $50, put that as a bankroll, and go broke and do that like over and over again. So I went broke sometimes, and when COVID hits, I told man like this is the time. So I signed up for a meta game. You guys accepted me, even that I was not a winning player, but yeah, when I joined, like I gave everything. Like I spent all of my time studying and grinding, and things happened really fast, man. Like the change was insane. Like I had like one week, no, one day that I had like a mini class from like a mini blueprint from Max,
Mm-hmm.
and I watched that in one day, and on the next day was already crushing 2NL. So it was insane, and then I moved it all the stakes like pretty fast, like always following the metagame methodology, always like studying like and follow like what I was told to do, and things happened so fast, man. Like from I think already like in 2022, I was already like playing 500 now and making a lot of money. So
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. It's so sick because I'm looking at the records that we have here, and like it's insane because you're saying you joined us in 2021 while still losing at 2-0. And I look
yeah,
at our records here. The first month we have any record of your in the team is April 2021. And in 2021, you won $60,000 playing poker. You
yeah,
won $60,000 in the first year with us after
yeah.
joining as a 2-0 losing player. Like, what the fuck is this? This is not normal.
Yeah,
This
man.
is
Like
not normal. What the fuck is
yeah,
this, man?
yeah. It was insane, man. Like things happened like so fast. Like I was, I couldn't believe that it was happening. Like it was a dream, and I tried to follow the steps for the dream, and everything happened. Like I joined the team, and now I'm a professional player, and I'm making money. Insane, man. It was insane. Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god. So sick. Pra galera que tá assistindo aí, que talvez não entenda tanto português, a gente tá falando um pouquinho da história do Pedro, no começo da história dele no metagame. Ele tá contando aqui pra gente como ele chegou pra metagame ainda na NL2 e tendo dificuldade de bater o limite. E ele entrou na metagame em abril de 2021. E nesse ano de 2021, com a metagame, ele ganhou $60 mil jogando. Se você tá assistindo, você talvez não tenha tanta ideia do que são esses números. $60 mil é o que ganha um jogador bom de mid stakes, né? Um cara que tá ali como profissional há uns 4, 5 anos já. O Pedro fez isso no primeiro ano dele, saindo praticamente do zero como jogador losing de NL2, né? Então, absolutamente um outlier insano, né? Um desenvolvimento assim incrível. Então, Pedro, with this incredible development that you had, I want to start picking your brain a little bit. So my focus here is trying to help people watching be a little bit more like Pedro Toledo. So when you look back at your career, when you look back at your results and what you have been achieving so far, what do you think are your biggest strengths, man? You can talk about technical side, mental side, whatever you want. Just looking inside yourself, how do you see that your edge comes from? Where do you think it mostly comes from?
I think it for sure is resilience. Like in a lot of areas, like I can grind with like A to B game for really long hours, so I can perform and grind and put a lot of volume and do well. And I have like I think a good mental to handle downswings. Like it's not that I tilt a lot, but I can deal with that and keep playing and keep doing what needs to be done. So if I would say like my biggest strength, I think it would be this for sure, like resilience.
Nice. Very nice. So when we talk about resilience in poker, a lot of times we're approaching it from the negative side, right? So like someone starts getting to a downswing, starts losing, and then maybe perhaps starts playing worse and everything. But not a lot is talked about the other side, which is what happens when things are going well for you. Uh, Actually, very a few minutes before we joined the live, I was looking through some chats in the metagame Discord, and I saw one particular player. Maybe he's here with us, is watching, and he's going to laugh at what I'm about to say. It was a player who, in the beginning of the month, he hit a bet big jackpot on GG. And then he was explaining how he wouldn't meet the volume for the month because after hitting the bet big jackpot, he got demotivated a bit to grind and he focused on studying instead. I found that to be very, very interesting to read because it's not talked about much. How do we handle things when we're winning, right? And for a lot of people, they can get into that mindset of, oh yeah, I'm doing well, now I can relax a little bit, right? But you were never that guy. Like you were always the guy who just pumped the gas even more and moving up in stakes and making more money year after year. How is it that you're dealing with this success you have been having over these few years? Because like 60K in the first year, and then from our records here, 110,000 in the second year with us. Then 2023 a little bit less, 74,000, and then 2024 200,000. Last year almost $1 million. Like, how is your mind working around these numbers and how you're keeping yourself motivated when basically you're living the absolute fucking dream, right? And you're still eager to move up and make your game better. How are you dealing with all of this, man? Tell us. Tell the mere mortals how you're dealing with this.
So I think I always saw, like, I'm a big nerd, so I love like RPG and games. So I always saw like poker like a video game, you know. So you have levels to go, and I was not never the kind of guy that, oh, I want to settle at 200 now and make like 50K a year and I'll have a good life. I always saw that as a challenge. So I always want to move up all the stakes. So whenever I have a good run, I shall take higher stakes, and that's what keep me motivated. So I always like shot taking the next stake and the next stake, and I think that's what gives me like the focus and the energy. Like I see that as like a video game that I have to beat, and yeah, there's always a next level. So yeah, I don't know. I just love this the challenge that the poker provide. Like going to a new challenge and trying to beat the guy. So yeah, I think that's what motivates me. It's not like about the money. Of course, the money is amazing. Like as I say, like poker changes my life. I have a really good life. I do what I love every day. Like I don't have time for nothing. I play all day long, but if I don't want to, I don't have to. And sometimes I do that. I'm not. I want to do something else. I want to travel with my girlfriend. I want to go out for dinner. So I do whatever the fuck I want. And
Must be
I work
nice.
with, yeah, it's amazing. And I work with what I love, and the money is good, but like it's not like the best thing, you know. Everything that comes together is like, I think it's the best thing. Like all the freedom you have, like all the happiness that you have from working with something that you really enjoy. So yeah, I think that's what motivates me. Like not about the money or anything else.
That's fucking amazing. And it touched on a point that I think perhaps, for me is something that I see in a lot of guys that have success at higher stakes. And I do think you have this characteristic. Maybe you can talk about it. I feel like the people who have the most success, they can detach themselves from the money at the tables, right? So it's very clear to me that there are different profiles of people in poker. The guy that when he's playing, he, even if he has like a solid bankroll, even if he has like his financial life settled, he's still going to feel that little pressure, in big pots and tough decisions. The money is going to have an impact in his decision making. And I feel like you don't have that. I feel like the way you can recover from downswings, the way you can play super high stakes without, feeling the pressure, like what you did in the championship. You weren't playing 10K NL every day before you joined the championship, right? You were playing like the 2K NL games, and then all of a sudden you were playing 5 times higher in a all rag battle lineup, and you were like, I belong here. Like, this is the place where I'm supposed to be. So do you feel that you are different in the way that you perceive the game in terms of the attachment you have to the money and how the money affects you? Do you see that, or am I mistaken in my perception here?
I think it's because like I'm a kind of guy that I love adrenaline, and it's not that I don't feel the pressure. I feel it, but I kind of like it, So
that's what you want, right?
yeah, I like being in the spot of sweating and like going for a big bluff or a big call. Like I feel the pressure, but I kind of enjoy it. So yeah, I think that's the difference. Like I feel the emotions, but I kind of like them. Like I like being in the spot. I like to feel the pressure and like having your heart going to your mouth, and yeah.
Você acha que dá pra ser um crusher de nosebleeds e ser Nietzsche em outras áreas da vida? Ou é ir pro gamble mesmo e foda-se?
Cara, eu acho que dá, né? Porque você vê até que tem alguns regras de nosebleeds que são bem Nietzsche, né? Até no jogo, né? Tipo assim, os caras são Nietzsche e jogam caro, né? Então, assim, não sei dizer, cara. Eu acho que é bem particular, assim, né? Eu acho que é de cada um, né? Do jeito que a pessoa lida com, com a variância e tal, mas um pouco espio o cara tem que ser, né, cara? Então, senão o cara fica, né, um pouco ambicioso, ou de algum jeito ele tem que ser um pouco mais desprendido, né? Se não for por gostar de adrenalina, é porque o cara é mais desprendido por dinheiro, ou o cara é muito ambicioso. Algum modo o cara tem que dar, né? Porque realmente a pressão de jogar esses limites, de jogar muito caro, é sick, cara. É sick. É de embrulhar o estômago.
Now, I'm going to read through the chat here a little bit. People are asking some questions. You guys feel free to post questions in the chat for Pedro, for me, if you want. We definitely want to be hearing you guys, what would you like to learn, and what insight you're eager to get from this man here. The man which is a legend, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be helpful here. I saw someone ask something that, let me see here. At Mechanics of Poker, you said that you started your career with metagame and followed some blueprint without much thinking needed when you play. Do you recommend that approach to everyone? So let's talk about that beginning, right? So clearly, you're not that guy anymore, right? So what do you think changed as you were coming up in stakes? Can you look back and see how your perception of poker changed and how you changed your approach?
Yeah, for sure. Like the question that was asked, I think like I'll definitely recommend that. Like with a blueprint, with like you can become like as I say, like you can go from a losing player to a winning player in a week. So it's the fastest way and the easiest way to start to make money and to start to develop your game. So you don't have to like to grind solvers and go to complex strategy. You just follow a blueprint and you start to make some money at the lower stakes and getting confidence and moving up the stakes. But as you move up, you have to evolve the other areas. So you have to, when you get to a certain level, you need to start to learn more about theory and everything. But I kept playing only MDA and only blueprint for like this first year that I had, that you say that I won 60K in the year. I didn't know shit about theory. I was only playing MDA and and that's it. So yeah.
Amazing. We have here another question from White Ivy Poker. Guys, if you want to send questions, go ahead and do it. White Ivy's taking advantage of that. He's asking, Pedro, what was your daily schedule like in 2021? Like 5 hours grinding? Then Brick Gym. You don't know what you're talking about, right, my friend? You think this man grinds 5 hours? He was grinding 5 hours when he started? What's your routine like, Pedro? Tell people what's your routine like.
it was literally like I was grinding for 12 and 14 hours a day easily. Like I was grinding every fucking day, all day long. I was going to sleep like 5 a.m., waking up, grind. I will eat on PC on the computer. I would take breakfast on the computer. I would do everything on the
Pedro,
computer. I would just
are you
grind.
addicted to poker, Pedro?
Kind of. I think so. Yeah, yeah.
No, this is very funny to me because I don't know when it started, but like a lot of people, have this, 5 hour grind mindset. Like, where did that come from? Like, how the fuck can you expect to get good at this game? Like doing 5 hour grinds, like give some advice to people who are starting, like not that they can replicate your path because I think everyone has their own journey, right? But when you see someone playing low stakes and then like grinding 4 hours a day, studying 1 hour, what would you say to a guy like that?
I think if you really that want that, like that's the thing that you want, like you have to give everything, you know. You gotta be obsessed and you gotta put all the time that you have into that, and then later you can have like a more balanced life. At least that's what I did. Like now I have like more time off, like I go to the gym and
Now you only grind
etc.
9
etc.
hours.
Yeah, yeah. That's it. But like I have like a routine now that I didn't have a routine. Like I would literally just wake up and grind, unstoppable. And I don't think it's like the best way, but one way or another, you gotta be obsessed about it. You know, if you really want to make it happen and make it fast, you just gotta go all in. You know, so
Guys, the game is no limit. Let's go all in. All right.
yeah.
Very nice. We have Meteoro here, Gabriel. Pergunta pro Pedrão se ele acha que a autoconfiança é um diferencial pra ele, porque vejo que vários brasileiros têm a síndrome de vira-lata e eu não vejo isso no Pedrão. O que você tem a dizer sobre isso?
Cara, com certeza, cara. Eu acho que no poker, assim, confiança e o mental é superior ao conhecimento técnico, assim, né, cara? Lógico que você não vai chegar em lugar nenhum se você não for bom tecnicamente, mas eu acho que um cara que é confiante e que tem um mental bom sempre vai conseguir superar um cara que é muito bom tecnicamente e não tem essas outras duas áreas, né? Então eu acho que confiança e conseguir ter um mental forte, acho que é
Tá, beleza. Aí o
talvez para
cara
mim as
tá
coisas.
ouvindo isso e tá lá, legal, preciso ter confiança. Porra, mas como que eu desenvolvo confiança? Como que eu me torno alguém que eu tô ali na mesa e eu tô, né, me sentindo bem com as decisões que eu tomo e eu não sinto que eu tô, que eu necessariamente sou pior que ninguém, que eu tenho meu valor. Como que o cara desenvolve isso?
Cara, é difícil eu falar assim, eu não trabalhei para isso, né? Tipo, não foi um negócio que eu antes eu não, eu acho que eu sempre fui assim, sabe? Então, não foi algo que antes eu era inseguro, acho que eu sempre fui muito seguro assim. Eu acho que minha jornada ajudou bastante isso, né, também, né? Tipo, desde que eu entrei no time, eu sempre tive crushando, então isso ajuda você a ter uma confiança, né? Então, assim, eu tive uma jornada muito meteórica no poker, então eu sempre tive uma confiança alta. Quando você passa por momentos ruins, todo mundo se questiona, né, cara? Até hoje, né? Você pega uma down grande e, cara, mesmo tendo feito tudo que eu já fiz, eu ainda tenho esses momentos, né, de, pô, velho, caralho, será? Mas você não pode deixar isso te abalar, né, cara? Tipo, porra, lembra de tudo que você já fez, de tudo que você conquistou e, né, tenta olhar pra trás e sair do momento que você tá e lembrar quem você é, do que você é capaz e mandar bala, cara.
Pra caralho. Now, let's get into a little bit more technical stuff here. We have your graph pulled up. As everyone can see, you won almost $400,000 in the challenge. Here we're probably missing some hands because if I recall, you won 369K, right?
Yeah, and I play 40K hands.
Okay, hands. So we're missing a few hands here, but that's all
Yeah.
right. And people were talking about your red line in the chat. Let's get a bit more technical here and talk about a topic that I think interests almost everyone that takes poker seriously, right? Which is the eternal debate between GTO and exploitative strategies. Brazilians have a very significant reputation for being very aggressive in this game. I think South Americans in general, because Argentinians are also very aggressive. And I feel like the Europeans are a bit more on the theoretical side, right? They have a little bit more of that, let's say, influence in their game. Not to say that they don't exploit, but it seems to me like they think about theory first and exploits later, and us South Americans here tend to do the opposite, right? And you have had experience through all the stakes, and very recently you played in a 10K and a reg battle with the best in the world. So, what is your current perception about the game in terms of like, if someone really wants to become elite, what do you think works best, and how would you see yourself in that scale? Do you see yourself as a very theory-oriented player? Do you see yourself as a very exploitative player? How do you balance these two things in your game?
Yeah, I think like to play like let's say the challenge, you can't go there and just play a blueprint. People are going to spot you and they are going to fight back, and it's not going to work. But I was for sure doing exploits that I learned, but mix it together with like I was like using RNG and like having like a more theoretical approach, but with the sauce of Brazilian exploits.
Nice.
And I think like you have to know everything if you want to be like elite and be on the highest level. You gotta know the population tendencies. You gotta know theory. You gotta be sharp everywhere. So I would say now I'm more theoretical, but with a lot of exploits here and there. But I would say like uh yeah, 6% theory, 40%, something like that. 70% theory, 30% exploits, something like that. I would say.
Nice. That's a good mix. That's a good
Yeah.
mix. Now, when I was studying the hands from the challenge and taking a look at people's graphs, your graph stands out by a lot, and Prodigy graph out stands out because he was one of the few, I think, I don't remember seeing others who had a red line like this, right? So you
Mm-hmm.
both had a positive red line in the game, whereas some other people that play a lot of volume, like for example Riggs deck, take a look at his graph and it has very losing red line, right? So I already made a study about this, and it does seem it wasn't a super big study, but it does seem like there is a correlation between a better red line and more win rate or better results. How do you think your game or Prodigy's game is different from these other guys like Rigged Deck or for example Muniz, who also broke even and had a very losing red line? What's the difference between your game, Prodigy's game, to the game of these other guys who seem to be maybe more on the theoretical side? What are the differences that you can spot?
Yeah, I think we are just fighting for every fucking pot, like uh
Do you think that's a mindset thing? Like, do you think that having that mindset makes a difference, or is just always technical, or call more of these hands, or raise more of these other hands?
I think it's like uh, both of them, but I think like it's kind of natural for everyone. Like you see some people like since their beginning, they're already a red line. Like you coach a bunch of students, so you know that like people like headliners from the beginning and blue line from the beginning. So I think it's like kind of personal, but you can develop that and get better. But I would say like the difference, like you're playing against Prodigy, it's so hard, man. Like he's fighting for every fucking pot, putting a lot of pressure, going for massive overbets, and just not giving an easy time. And yeah, I think that's the difference, man. Like you just you find like a tell or everything you go with, you go in like you catch that you get like every exploit that you can do like with everything like you're just fighting hard for the pots, small pots, big pot, medium pots. You are just like trying to get all of them, like not in a spewy way, but you know what I mean,
Yeah,
like
so that's what I was going to get into, because you just said how, at this level we can't be super exploitative and everything, and how, you know, people are going to spot some very imbalances, but at the same time you're saying that there is a difference, right? There are some guys who clearly fight more for pots, and there are other guys who maybe don't fight so much. So how can you keep yourself still, within a reasonable execution while fighting like crazy for the pots? How can we have those two things at the same time?
Yeah, I think with time and experience, you start like catching like the good spots to do something. Like you get some tells, like you start to play the challenge and you see some leaks on the guy game, and you feel like he's unbalanced in certain spot, and then you start to attack it. But if you go do this in a dumb way, like if you're just like attacking without like a good reason, like then you are going to be the weak spot, because you are going to be the one to exploit. But if you do that in an intelligent way, like find the small leaks and find like the going really into the details, then I think you have like the sweet spot, like where you can fight for the pots, but on the right time, on the right texture, or
Right.
against the right guy. Yeah.
Exactly. I think that's the point here. So like you need to get super, super good at understanding when it's the time to pull the trigger, right? So
Yeah.
when is it appropriate and when is it not? I feel like players who come up, in stakes, they go through that transition, right? I think most people start as nits. You were not one of those. I remember your grabs from the beginning. You were always the red liner guy. When most people, they start a little bit needy, and then they go through a transformation where they realize, okay, it's aggressive strategies that make money in this game. And then they go through a spewy phase where they're just being excessive about it, and they are pulling the trigger in bad spots. And then eventually some reach that evolved level where they can control when they use that aggression, and they can pick the spots for when to take that aggression, right? So what do you think it takes for one to make that progress? How do we go from someone that is just
That's so hard, man.
spewy aggressive and then someone who actually picks the spots correctly?
I think it's with experience and studying, and just like it's really hard, man. I took a long time to find that. Like I was
No
always
magic pills?
super-
Come on. Give me a magic pill here.
Yeah, I don't think you don't. There's no magic pill, man. I think this is one of the hardest thing to do, like in poker. Like if you have like someone that is able to do that, he will for sure make it easier for you. But when you are playing, like it's super difficult. Like I struggle a lot with that for a longer period of time to find that sweet spot. Like to when to be aggressive and when to pull the trigger, because it's really easy to let it go and do it too much, or don't do it at all. So it's really hard to find the balance. But yeah, you, you have to study and practice. And I think a big part of this is like grinding a lot. When you grind a lot and you with studying together, like then you have like the theoretical and the empirical knowledge all together. Then you can make a mix of it and know when to apply things. Because things get more clear when you are going through the situation over and over and over again, and you are trying, things are going bad, and you see that it doesn't work, and then you change, and you have to do this, man. Like you try and fail, and try and fail again and again and again, and then eventually you'll find the spot. Like, but yeah, it's hard.
Amazing. Nesse mesmo tópico, né? Vamos dar uma moralzinha aqui pros BRs assistindo. Cara, você passou por um período ali que você, 2024, né? Primeiro semestre ali, você grindou por 1 milhão de mãos na NL200 Blitz, né? Pra quem tá assistindo, não vai ter noção do que significa isso, né? Você saiu de um ano ali grindando NL200 Blitz, no ano seguinte você já tava crushando 2K na GG e depois até 10K no Challenge, né? Mas você jogou ali, cara, mais de 1 milhão de mãos num período curto de tempo. Você acha que isso teve um impacto significativo nessa tua experimentação e aprender como é que realmente as pessoas pensam o jogo através de volume?
Cara, com certeza, cara. E foi aí que teve o grande mudança no meu jogo, e que você foi o grande maestro disso que aconteceu, né? Eu tava jogando essas 200 mil mãos por mês e tentando de tudo, né? Teve mês que eu joguei só teoria, teve mês que eu joguei só MDA e tava testando de tudo. E eu lembro que sempre nos nossos coaches one-on-one, né? Você sempre falava, pô, cara, eu dou coach para várias pessoas aqui e tem muitas pessoas que não têm uma intuição muito boa, né? E o cara vem aqui, ele fala a intuição dele tá sempre errada, né? O que ele acha nunca tá certo. E sempre que você vem aqui, você fala a sua intuição e ela tá sempre correta, cara. Segue mais essa porra, né? E eu lá jogando 200 mil mãos por mês, né, cara? Falei, pô, vou tentar jogar um mês aqui na intuição pura, né, cara? Eu vou fazer o que eu acho que tem que ser feito. E, porra, não deu outro, cara. Depois disso, cara, eu encaixei o jogo assim e comecei a acreditar nas minhas reads, acreditar na minha intuição e, porra, foi daí pra frente que deslanchou assim o meu jogo, cara.
Cara, isso é muito foda de ouvir, porque eu sempre tive uma convicção assim muito grande que tem pessoas que já têm um conhecimento assim muito forte. Elas só precisam de uma virada de chave às vezes, né, para alcançar o resultado que ela tá querendo. Eu já vi isso acontecer várias vezes do time, jogadores que, puta, às vezes, cara, era nítido que o cara tinha um conhecimento absurdo do jogo, mas talvez ainda não teve aquela virada de chave, né? Por que que você acha que em nenhum momento você conseguiu, né, antes de me ouvir, te encorajar ali e falar, cara, ouça essa porra da tua intuição e vai e faz? O que que você acha que faltou pra você conseguir escutar essa tua voz interna enquanto você jogava ali sem esse empurrão que eu precisei te dar, né? Por que que você acha que você ainda ficava preso naqueles modos mentais que você estava utilizando ali?
Cara, eu acho que porque sempre deu certo pra mim, né? Então, quando eu entrei no time, eu segui tipo de olho fechado, né? Cara, você vai estudar blueprint, você vai aplicar isso e vai fazer isso. Você não vai ficar pensando, né? Porra, eu acho isso, eu acho aquilo. Cara, você não acha porra nenhuma. A gente tem o dado aqui, essa aqui é a blueprint, isso aqui tem números, você vai seguir o que tá falando e acabou, tá ligado? Então, cara, eu entrei com esse mindset, né? E eu segui isso por muito tempo e minha carreira deu muito certo, né? Só que chegou num momento que não tava mais fluindo, né, cara? Assim, tava, mas eu precisava chegar num nível além, né, cara?
Uhum.
E eu meio que tinha isso, né, cara? Não, pô, que foda-se o que eu tô pensando, cara. É isso, eu vou seguir o que tem que ser feito. E eu ficava meio fechado nisso porque sempre tinha dado certo, né? Só que ao mesmo tempo isso tava me bloqueando de subir pro side stakes, né, cara? Eu acho que eu tava muito preso ali. E essa conversa que a gente teve aí foi game changer pra caramba, assim. Eu acho que ficou claro dos meus resultados, né? Depois que eu comecei a seguir mais minha intuição e, e acreditar mais nas minhas reads e etc. O quanto que melhorou meu jogo, cara.
It's fucking amazing. For the guys here who didn't hear this last block, we were speaking Portuguese. We were talking about a specific phase in Pedro's career where he was grinding very hard the 200L Blitz games on ACR. And he was playing 200,000 hands a month in that fucking game. That fucking game, safe to say, Pedro, wasn't the softest game in the world, right? You were fighting fucking bots every day in that disgusting site and a bunch of regulars, almost no fish. And you had to try everything. And then at some point, Pedro decided to listen to an advice I gave him. He would come to our 1v1 coachings, and everything he would say about the hands were correct, but then he would change his mind in game and play something else. And then I told him, man, you always have the right thoughts about the hand, just follow your intuition. He took that to heart, he implemented, and according to his words, that was a game changer for him. So for those watching here, I want to definitely give you guys this advice. We live in an era with a lot of information, right? You have solvers, you have MDA, and then you have that guy on YouTube that says you should do this and play that strategy. It's so overwhelming, the amount of information, and we forget to fucking listen to our intuition and to fucking play what feels right in the spot, right? It's not always that we're going to be right, but if you keep playing, if you keep putting volume, as Pedro said here, Pedro gave a very nice advice of how testing things in the real world and actually playing volume is so important to get that empirical knowledge about how the pool plays. Trust your intuition, and then as you keep improving, you're going to build this intuition up into something very sharp. Right? Let's see what else you guys are saying here. If you remember, what was your aha moment that made you improve the most? Apart from this intuition thing, was there any other thing, Pedro, that you can remember that, man, this really clicked something for me?
I think it's that one. The
That one.
first time that I had like access to MDA for sure. Then that was the first like game changer for me. Like it made me become like a winning player. And then I think it was that like just following my intuition. I think this for sure was the two biggest ones.
That's awesome. James or Hummus, I don't know, asked, looking back over your journey, is there anything you would do differently? Mistakes you would avoid, etc.?
Yeah. I think like maybe don't that much. I always have like a tilting problem. Uh, Now it's under control finally, but I had I broke I think more than 25, 30 keyboards. Like I would
Nah,
sometimes
no way. No
yeah,
way.
I had broke. I already broke like three keyboards in one day. I was
Holy shit.
yeah, man. I was like really really tilted, but I think it's just as I
That's
said
not a
like
tilt. That's a mental breakdown. It's like
it's because like as I said I was playing like 14 hours a day every day, no routine, no anything. Like my life was just poker, 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 poker. So when poker was not going so well, then this is going to happen, you know. So I think
so
like
sick.
yeah, try to not be that obsessive, but at the same time, this made me who I am today. So
Yeah, it's
I
what
don't know
got
if
you
I would
here.
change that. Yeah, yeah,
Maybe those keyboards were the price to pay to get where you are,
exactly,
right?
exactly, exactly.
So nice, man. Now, let's go in and take a look at some hands that we separated here. There were a lot of hands that were very interesting in this challenge, but I want to pick your brain a little bit and give the guys a little taste of how an elite poker mind thinks about the game, because you know you don't get that very often, right? To have guys brag battling at this level, and to have interesting hands happen and to be able to listen to the thoughts, I think can be very very insightful. So we have had some hands here. Let me actually pull out the other database. We have some nice hands that we can take a look into, and hopefully you can give us some insight into what was going through your mind. So let's take a look here. I think this was a very iconic one. We can start with this one because looking at it myself, I was like, how the fuck did he pull this off? Right? So this was a hand against Prodigy. You're holding here H7 off from the big blind. He opens the button. You make the call here. Then flop comes 976 rainbow, and he c-bets 3/4 pot. Now, I already saw that you raise here, and I want to ask you exactly about this. Like, when you see someone c-betting here, aside that we expect most good players to c-bet on this board, what are your thoughts? Like, I'm not talking about the specific hand. Like, how do you approach these spots in terms of your range? Walk us through how is that your brain is working when you see something like this. How do you decide which action to make? What's your process here?
Okay, so here my first thought is like I would put all my hands into buckets. So I'll have like gut shots, top pair, two pairs. I'll have like a bucket list of hand categories, and then I will have a frequency for all of them. You know, so okay, here I have like second pair with a gutter. Then I'll have like a bucket, a percentage of
Frequency
what
bucket.
a frequency bucket what with what I'm going to do with that part of my range. So as I'm playing like elite guys, I'm just like RNG everything. So here I roll like a 25 below RNG, and that was a raise for me. But that's what I'm going to do with all of my range. Like I would just like put them in bucket list and use the frequency as they go with that part of the range.
Nice. I like to approach the game that way as well. And one thing we're gonna have difficulty with is, well, first of all, trying to memorize that stuff, and then at the tables, trying to allocate the different hands to different buckets, right? So
Yeah.
I want to ask you, when you were playing, of course, you're not going to remember when you were playing this hand, but when you look at a middle pair with an open ender, why is it that you think it belongs sometimes to the raising range? Because I think most people watching, they would just be like the normal guy who just calls with this hand, right? But you're not the normal guy, and you took this hand and you used it as a check raise. So, how do you feel about what is the difference between the way you think and the way most people think? Why would most people not raise here, and why do you think it belongs sometimes to the raising range?
I think big part is like maybe people just like want to play safe and they don't want to get into a big pot with a medium hand. But if you know what you're doing, and if you have the data and you have like the knowledge of theory, it's it's kind of easy, right? You have it, you know the numbers, just roll the RNG
Just
and
execute it.
execute exactly. So I think it's just like a, a, a mental problem, like it's just about your mental game. If you can't execute that, if you know that the numbers and you can't execute, is a mental problem. It's just like the part of your mental game because uh, if you want to like play solid, you have to know this. You have to know the frequencies and you have to know the hand categories, what you are going to do with each one and what frequency. And when you already know that, you just execute, right? Like, but I think if you can't do this, it's just like part of your mental game. Like you're being like maybe scared or you think the other guy doesn't have like weak hands with this betting size or whatever. But yeah.
Nice. I love how uh, elite minds in any craft make it sound so easy, right? It's just like, the numbers, you execute it. Come on, it's not that hard.
Exactly, man. It's just simple, man. You study, you know the numbers, and you roll the RNG and you execute it. That's it.
Oh my god, this is so fucking amazing. And the guy there watching play 25 and now he's like, okay, yeah, it's just do it. Just fucking do it.
Yeah, just go for it. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
fucking love
The
it.
problem is like what's going to happen a lot of times is like the guy will do this and will lose, and
And
he'll
you
do
will
again
lose.
and lose, and he'll
Exactly.
do again and lose, and then he will stop doing that because for somehow he will think this didn't work, but you gotta do this 100 times, and then
Yeah.
it works 60 times, and then it's okay, like okay,
Hmm.
it's not going to work every time, and you just gotta go with it. You are not going to be right every time. You just gotta click the buttons and let the rest.
Exactly. Now, this hand here was played against Prodigy, right? Did you feel like at any point in the challenge, you guys developed some rivalry? You were trying to pick pots at each other, or no? You just kept your normal game plan.
I didn't have that with anyone. Like I don't like to get into levels. I think that's really bad for my game. Like so I'm not the guy that is trying to get into levels, especially against with these guys. So I was just sticking with my game plan, and I didn't solve any leaks in project game that I was able to attack. So I was just like following my game plan and just yeah, playing normal. Uh, yeah.
Nice. So we go with the check raise here to relatively small size, not even 3x. So what's going through your head here to pick your check raise size? So maybe you thought about going bigger, but ultimately you decided going for the smaller size. What's the idea here?
I'm just playing simplified strategies like almost everywhere in my game tree. So I will not have like multiple raise sizes. So that's the raise size that I use on this board. And for other boards, I have different raising size, but for other kind of boards. So that's something that I do too. I simplify a lot of my strategy, like in terms of sizing. So I use like almost just one size for each like node of the game. and I think that helps me a lot. So I was not even thinking about sizing. That's the size I will use, and that's the size I use. So this like make life so easier. Like it's not
Nice.
that project can just exploit me because I didn't went like a little bit bigger. Like it's really hard to know what the other guys is doing. So, and if you are doing this in the right frequency, like it's almost impossible to to adapt and to exploit. So yeah, it's just like the standard size that will go on this board.
Nice. So cool to hear this because I feel like, ever since I started as a content producer and being a coach, the amount of times I saw people just going way too complex about things that don't have to be complex is just so overwhelming. And people actually think they're doing a favor to themselves, making their strategies more complex. But here you are, like battling 10K and crushing the pool while understanding that you need to find the simplifications whenever they are available, right? So to me, this tells a lot, and it's a really good advice there for people out there if they're coming up in stakes. Like if the guy here made almost $1 million last year, and he has the complete awareness of how his strategy needs simplification in many spots, I think that's very, very telling. So yeah. Prodigy goes with the call here, and we get to this queen of diamonds on the turn. The pot is 2750, and you both have effective 10K behind, and you go with the pot size here. So again, you took the hand that you most people would not check raise, and then you check raise, you get called, you get an overcard on the turn, which is supposedly not going to be great for you, as perhaps he has a bit more overcards in his range than you, and then you continue betting for the pot size here. So what's the idea? How to construct your range in a spot like this?
Yeah. So here, like I think it's a polar spot, right? So I'm going to be betting like 2 pair plus and the bluffs. So I don't see like merits in going small. I will check the spot or go big, and then again I roll the RNG and find the same bluff, like. But that's how I'll approach the spot. Like it's not a spot that I want to bet uh, like king 9, right? So I think it's just how the spots play. So yeah, I think big size is what makes sense.
Perfect. And this hand has some really nice properties here with the blockers to your pair, the blockers to sats, and then you have the open-ended equity. And you can really get a lot of better to fold, right? So I'm looking through his range here, and I think a bunch of 9X without any equity have to fold now. Pocket Jacks has to fold. So you have a really, really profitable bluff here.
Yeah.
Did you feel at any point that Prodigy was too sticky and not very looking to fold, or do you think he had like normal approach to bluff catching?
I think so, like, but I don't think he was like really like he was making reads, like I don't think he was just like playing pure like GTO and I'm gonna RNG this call, and I think he goes with his guts too, so I felt that like if he thinks you are full of shit, he's going to make the call, and I think that's what also makes him a great player. And he was like, I told that before, like I think was the hardest guy to play against in the challenge. So yeah, proper to him. Amazing player.
Super, super nice. And now we get to the river here, which is, for most people psychologically, when the river pairs the board, you feel like you don't want to bluff anymore, right? You're always in that mindset of like, man, but I don't have this card in my range. Exactly. That's what I wanted to get from you. Because like I think most people's mindset is gonna be like, yeah, the board pairs. I don't really have that card in my range much. He has that card more than me. Now what's my value? Like 7-6 got counterfeited, Queen 6, Queen 7. I can't value bet anymore. So I'm just gonna check and give up, right? But you didn't do that. You went ahead and you bluffed all in, and he folded. Yeah. So what makes Biluzin go for this bluff here when I would imagine 90-something% of players would give up the spot. What's the difference between you and people in a spot like this?
I think if you perceive the spot as a hard spot to bluff, then it's a good spot to bluff, right? So if you struggle to find the bluffs on certain spot, like if you are like looking into project's eyes and you think like, oh man, here's so hard to find the bluffs. I think there's where you should find the bluffs, and they are going to be profitable because people are going to give a lot of credit. So I think that's the case. Like not especially here in the challenge. Like people know that everyone is capable of finding bluffs everywhere, but if you're playing like mid stakes or even like low mistakes, like having bluffs where nobody bluffs is a good way to go because yeah.
Amazing. The guy just
Yeah.
dropped an insane gold pill here for you guys. Whoever listens to what this man is saying is going to be able to make good fruit what he just said, right? I'm just going to say that and live it as is. So this hand here, completely amazing. And it just shows how you're a different player because everything about this hand goes against the way most people think about poker. And obviously, this type of hand doesn't come up all that often. It's not like your game is built around these types of spots. But the fact that you are able to take these spots, I don't know if you're going to agree with me, but I feel like in today's era, edges are in the details. You're not going to find edges on like the most obvious spots, but it's spots like this that happen every so now and then. If you can be that guy who takes them, it's going to compound, you know? These specific details in those spots where you can take the edge.
That's what we told like before, right? Like just find the like not do this every fucking time, but find the good board, a good run out, like with a good RNG and being able to find this kind of spots, but do that with caution, you know. If you do that all the time, you are going to be fucked. But if you can like spot the good spots to do, and then I think is a good way to go. Just you gotta be balanced with your bluffs.
So nice. Now, let's step back a bit from the technical stuff, and I want to touch on a topic that I think is also super relevant for the people watching. A lot of the people watching perhaps have the dream of becoming a professional poker player. Perhaps they are already trying to do so, moving up in stakes, but they're struggling a little bit. And we always hear how poker is getting tougher, how, there are cheaters out there, and then there's boss, and there's collusion, there's high rake, and it feels like it's really hard for someone who's starting out this day to find the motivation to actually pursue it, right? Because it feels like there are so many barriers. I wanted you to talk a little bit about, imagining you're talking to someone who's at like 25 and L and dreaming of becoming a professional. What would you say about this person, about the possibilities of really making a living from poker? Try to give a perspective to these guys of how hard it really is. Like how much effort does it take to actually become a pro that can live from the game? You have done this throughout these last 5 years, and the people are starting out now. I always get this question, like, Saulo, how long does it take for me to go from this stake to that stake? How long does it take, or how hard it is for me to make $3,000 a month? When you look at the ecosystem and you have these guys trying to move up, what would you say to them about what is something factual and what is a nice expectation to have? What is a fair expectation to have about how hard it is to be a pro in 2026?
First of all, don't listen to these fuckers who are saying that poker it's all losers excuse, people that try and didn't succeed or didn't even try, like play a little and just lose and then they talk shit. Of course there are bots, of course there are people cheating, but there are a ton of people making a lot of money in poker. Every year that goes by, I'm making even more money. So poker is still there. There's still a lot of money to do, but it takes a lot of work, man. I think it's not just for poker, right? If you want to be good in everything that in life, you gotta take like and grind your ass off. If you want to be like good in anything that you do, poker is not going to be different. It's not because it's a card game that you play at your house on the computer that you are just going to sit and make money. That's not how it goes. Like you gotta give your life to it. Like you gotta grind hard, study hard, join a team, be close to people that are with your the same like goals as you. Find mentors, find people that have ever gone to through this path. Like this is really important, right? Like if you try to do this by your own, it's so much harder, so much harder, and you have like a lot of opportunities there, like a lot of stables. You have metagame, you have like MTTs, stables. You have like a lot of people that have already done that and made a lot of people do that too. So if you can find someone that you enjoy and you think it is going to be good, like just go for it. Like it's going to make your life much easier, but it's still going to be hard. It's still going to take like almost all of your time, but that's it, man. If you want to live with poker, you gotta give everything.
Nice. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people, for some reason, have this expectation, maybe not consciously, but maybe unconsciously, that it's supposed to be easy. They have an expectation that, yeah, no, I'm just gonna study or play here for 1, 2 years and I'm gonna be printing money. Like, yeah, maybe that happens for the outliers, but in anything in life, as you said, if you want to get good, if you want to make a living out of it, fuck, you have to go to college for like 4 years or 5 years for most jobs. And when you start out, you're making no bucks, right? You're making no money at all. And then maybe within 5 years, you're making some money. So it's like 10 years of dedicating yourself to something, studying, and then working only then to make a significant amount of money. And then in poker, people have this expectation that it's supposed to be so fast, right? And then it seems like there's some anxiety, right, that it should happen fast, right? So I think controlling that emotion is really important.
Yeah, for sure. And poker is not like an easy game. You are going to go to a lot of hard times, right? Like variance is so sick, so you are going to be put into test a lot of times, and if you are not uh, giving everything, like you are not going to succeed, and you are going to give up because it demands a lot, like technically, psychologically, like everything.
That's it. Now we're reaching a final part here of our stream, and I want to talk about a new phase in your career, which is now you're an official coach for Metagame. Now you're helping us inside the team to make people improve and move up in stakes. How does it feel to be on the other side of the deal here, where you were with us for 5 years as a player, now you're with us as a coach, helping other guys improve? How do you feel in this new phase?
I'm enjoying it, man. I'm enjoying like at first I was kind of rushed, but because all this time I have never give coach and never did anything. I was just like playing. But I like it. I think people are really enjoying it too, and I'm getting better as a coach too as time goes by, and I'm really enjoying it. I think the coach sessions are so nice. Like we talk a lot. I learn with the guys too. Like we exchange a lot of information, give insights, and yeah, it's a really like organic kind of coach. So I'm enjoying a lot. Like I think it's really being really helpful for me and for the guys on the team.
That's amazing, man. I'm very happy to have you on board. Like, this was always the mentality we had inside Metagame since the day we created the business, where we knew that the business would only grow with the participation of people like you, people who are smart, people who are motivated, and people who are willing to contribute with the knowledge and the skills that they have. And right now, like, me and all the other partners, and I'm pretty sure the entire team, is getting really inspired by what you did, by what you have been accomplishing, because of course we have had success throughout the years, but never to this level, right? And you opened up a door for us that I think is motivating everyone to push their limits, and having you as this reference, as someone who can actually help the guys in there to move up in stakes, it's something that I'm extremely proud of and something that makes me really happy, because we're building something bigger than ourselves, right? We are now a company that helps hundreds of families out there to use this game as a way to make a living and to provide for their families. And now you're another person in this ecosystem that is helping us achieve this vision. So I'm really happy for that, and really happy that you're enjoying it, because a lot of people at first, they find it so different, right, from the experience of playing. But it seems like you're enjoying, the other guys are enjoying, so I'm really excited for that to the future.
Yeah, for sure, man.
I even want to get some coachings with you, man.
Yeah.
I need to get your agenda.
you were in line, but you gave up on the last minute.
Yeah, that's true.
You forgot that.
We were gonna do a sweat session, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I have to get my shit together here. So nice. So guys, we did this documentary here because we wanted to show a little bit of the backstage of what happened in this historic event for us, and also to show a little bit of who Pedro is. Pedro's, you guys could see from this, not only from the documentary but from this interview here, someone who is extremely humble. And to me, this is a sign that speaks so much of a person. He has had a year that a lot of people would go into a mindset of, now I don't have anything to learn from anyone else, I'm the best, I'm this, I'm that. And Pedro is not that person. You could hear him saying in the interview and in the documentary how he still learns from other people. So this is a guy who understands he still has a path to walk, and he's still learning this game. He's still passionate about learning it, and this makes me so excited to have him working inside Metagame. So we want to tell you guys that we have applications open for Metagame, and there is a link in the description of this video for you to send your application. If you're someone who are treating poker seriously, if you're someone who wants to become a pro, or maybe you are already a pro who has not been having the results that you feel you deserve or that you think are to the best of your capacity, this I could not overstate that this could not be there could not be a better time for you to join Metagame than right now. We have not only Pedro, but we have a team of instructors that are fully prepared to help him up in stakes. We have had guys that have had their record years last year. So not only Pedro, we have had like 4 or 5 guys who have had their biggest profit year by a long margin last year. And this has to say something, right? When everyone is talking about how the game is tough, how there are bots and collusion and rake and all of this, we're having so many guys having the best year ever of their careers. So we're really proud of the structure that we have developed. And now we have literally one of the best, if not the best, cash game player in the world with us helping you improve. So I'm going to leave the link here for you guys in the chat if you want to send your application. You have to go through our selection process to be able to be accepted. So it's not an automatic thing. I want to be a part of Metagame, let me just join. No, you go through a selection process where you go through an interview, you go through, some verification process of your accounts and anything. And if we feel like you're a good fit for our ecosystem, for our culture, then we offer you a contract. And then eventually, if you reach mid stakes and above, you might be able to interact with the man himself. He does a lot of live streaming in our Discord channel. Like I see most Fridays, he's out there and grinding, even some nosebleed games that he plays on some other sites other than his main game on GG. So if you want to be close to people who are actually making hundreds of thousands of dollars every year at online poker, then I would strongly recommend you guys send out your application. Right, so there's the link here for the application page. You have the link in the description of the video. And I'm going to take these last minutes to answer you guys' questions, right? Doesn't have to be about the CFP itself, but if you want to ask questions about Metagame, CFP, everything, the staking contract, post it right now in the chat, or any other questions you have for the man himself here, for Pedro, put in the chat right now, because that's how we're going to end. All right, I'm going to read maybe about 5 questions to Pedro, and then we're going to call it a day. All right, Kamaleon Sakor said, for sure, he's my coach on meta. Amazing humility all the time. He's just a cool guy. Amazing guy. So I believe this is Matthias. So Matthias is praising you a lot here, my friend.
Thank you, Matthias.
Matches said, thank you. This was amazing. Thank you for the content. We're not done yet, my friends. Now is the time for you to send questions to the man, the myth, the legend here. I'd like to take the CFP with you, said Richard Suarez. Do you have any openings? Yes, my friends. So right now we have the applications open. You can send your application through the link I just posted in the chat. All right, I have pinned the link. You can see it either at the top or at the bottom of your chat. You're going to see the link to send your application, okay? White Ivy is asking you, what was your absolute worst downswing in terms of buy-ins? And he's asking for the both of us. Let's you go first.
I had almost, when I was playing 100 L Zoom, I think I lost close to 100 binds.
Ah, my God.
Yeah.
That's so sick.
Yeah. But I was still like pretty immature. Like I had like, I was playing 100 L Zoom and I had like 5 months into poker. So I was doing like, I was tilting a lot. I was like spewing a lot. So it was not just pure variance. Like there was a lot of bad play included for sure. Like I was still like pretty mature, right? So it's kind of common. Like when you take a time like to develop like these things and get better. So I think it was really early in my career and I was already playing 100L and I had just massive downswing. And playing Zoom is so hard, so easier to like to tilt more, to play bad more and to make better better decisions, bad decisions when you're playing Zoom. So yeah, I think this was the worst one that I had.
Holy shit, 100 fucking buy-ins. That's crazy. Yeah, to me it was a bit smaller. To me it was more around the 50 buy-in margin. But yeah, it's definitely super tough, and it's one of those times where you have to get your shit together before it gets worse, right? For me, I was always the player to really go on hard on the studies when I was hitting a downswing, and that way, I guess, it didn't get any worse.
Yeah.
We have a question here from Jaime Rodriguez. Any advice to move up in stakes and keep the multi-tabling at an A game? What do you think about that?
Yeah. For moving up stakes, I think like if you have like a decent sample and you are comfortable and you feel like you are already beating the game. I'm not the guy that think that you have like to beat your current game at 10 BB to go to the next level. The next stake is pretty similar that the one you're playing. So if you're playing like 25 NL, 50 NL is kind of the same, right? It's just a little bit more difficult. So if you are having success at 25 NL, you are probably going to have success in 50 NL if you don't like get money pressure or anything like that. So if you have a good sample and you are winning, just take your shots, set like a stop loss, like give some shots like 5 binds, 10 binds, and do that. Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it. And yeah,
nice. How does Pedro go about studying poker? What do you do to study? The people want to know.
So I'm a really visual guy, so I love watching videos. I love watching content from the beginning, like watching videos, watching classes, and I study like a really organic way. Like I am not the guy that wake up and like now I have like a 2 hour sessions of study. Like I
40
sometimes
minutes of drills in GTO Wizard.
no, I sometimes I pause like the grind in the middle because I have some doubts and I want to review a hand. So uh, I study like between sessions. Like I have some doubts, I stop the session like or I'm in the middle of a break and I have like 3 hands that I want to see. Then I go there and review the hand and I watch a lot of content from the team and like I study in every way possible. But I'm not the most organized person. Like I don't have a study routine, but I'm always studying, like always checking new things, always like having doubts. So yeah, I'm always in touch with the stud, but I don't have like a stud routine, you know. And having that like my whole career, I don't think like everyone works like that. Scipion had told me that like you are the only one that I see that this works. Like this doesn't work for anyone, so don't try this at home. But yeah, that's how I do it.
Take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Nice. Oetininho is asking, for how long is the contract for, and is there a possibility to work longer than the contract with you guys to actually reach high stakes? Are there any residential requirements? So our typical contract, if it's the first contract, is going to be for 18 months. Okay. There are also cases where we don't do a time period contract, but we actually sometimes do it in amount of hands, depending on the player. Okay, so when you get to the stage of getting offered a contract, then we can talk about different possibilities. But typically 18 months contract, or maybe sometimes a hand volume based contract, typically 1 million hands or maybe a bit more if you play regular tables at some sites where you can't get all that much volume. All right, so that's typically how we work. Then you asked, is it possible to work longer? There's always the possibility, like contracts and everything. The idea is that it should be a win-win proposition, right? So if you are going to benefit from it and we as a company are going to benefit from it, then why not, right? Of course, there are going to be details that need to be sorted, but from a principles perspective, if it's a win-win situation, then there shouldn't be much of a reason not to do it. Okay, and in terms of residential requirements, no, there isn't any. We have players from all around the world. We do have most contracts from Brazilians, of course, but we have people from Finland, we have people from Portugal, we have people from Italy, we have people from all over the place, right? So there's no problem at all if you're from Europe, if you're from North America. We even have had people from China, so it's no problem. White Ivy Poker is asking, how were you able to play 12 hours a day playing your A game? After 8 hours, I feel tired.
Yeah, I was definitely not playing my A game, but like that's what I say. Like I can like go for long hours and not get into D game, right? So I'm playing like a B game for like I can play 14 hours, and in the last 5 hours I'm playing like B game. So it's good, right? So if you can do this, like playing B game at for this long is all right, you know. So
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But I don't think like how I was able to do that. I think it's because I had always been a gamer and spent a lot. I had been a grinder, not from poker but from other games. So
what did you play? LOL?
World of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft. Okay.
Yeah, I am MMORPGs are my thing. So like
you still play them?
Monsters and yeah, sometimes almost every year I take a week off just to nerd and play some game.
Yes. Yeah, not uncommon for poker players. Someone asking what happened to Zinho. Zinhão tá aí, Zinhão? Cadê? Galera tá querendo você aí, Zinhão. What is Pedro power ranking in cash games? Say top 5 players. People always like to hear these things, huh? So what's your top 5, Pedro?
Yeah. I'm not going to say like who is the first, but like first or second or third, but Prodigy, Davey, Kevin, Linus, and yeah.
And Pedro Toledo.
I think and me, yeah. No, I'm out of the range, right? The power rank for the other guys. I'm the first man.
I don't know. You struggle to find a fifth?
Yeah. But I think like it's really close, right? Like all of the guys are like on a pretty similar level, and but I don't play that often, so I can't say like who is really the best. But from what I faced on the challenge, like the guys that I think was the toughest guys to play against was Kevin, Davey, and Linus. Kevin, Davey, and Project. the three of them for me were the best ones in the challenge, right? I don't play them that often, but in the challenge, these threes for me were the best.
Nice. Someone, Felipe, our player and coach for Metagame, he's asking, which move up in stakes did you find the hardest? That's also a common question. What move up was the hardest?
500 to 1K for sure.
500 to 1K.
Yeah.
Specifically on GG, right? Or maybe, or
Yeah,
different.
yeah. I used to play on Bulldog 500, and I had like 9 BB 100 there, and I just couldn't beat 1K now. I was just getting completely murdered. And
So sick.
yeah, I took like 20 shots at 1K before succeeding, and yeah.
Holy
It was
shit,
first-
20.
I don't know, but I lost count. Like
Mhm.
so many shots, I lost count. But is the only stake that happened. I only took one shot in every stake, and then at 1K I took like I don't know how many.
Holy shit. Why do you think that is? Because I think that has happened to other people as well in the team. That jump from 500 to 1K does seem to be quite difficult for a lot of guys. So what is it about it? What's the difference there?
The rake.
The rake,
The
yeah.
rake. Yeah, because when we were playing 500, we were playing like on stars, on bulldog, and then you jump to a pool with 8 BB 100 hake, and you have to play for rake back, and then you don't see the results coming because you need to hit the jackpot, you need to get everything from the rake back, and then so you're in rate on GG if you were like winning like 5 BB 100 on stars, you are going to be a break-even player on GG or even slightly losing. So feels like you are not beating and feels like you are getting like fucked, but sometimes you are, but
Sometimes
also the
you
rake,
are.
yeah, but also the rake is going to impact a lot, right? So yeah.
True. That's true. Yeah, sometimes we underestimate that. What size do you put your students to play 500 to 2K, for example, if they would live in Portugal? We always try to find the best options, my friend. You shouldn't worry about that. It's also a decision that is made, together with the player. So we don't necessarily impose, or you're going to play this, you're going to play there. Of course, we're also going to make strong recommendations because the goal is for both of us to make the most money possible, right? So if we feel like you are addicted to a site that is clearly not the highest TV option, we're going to say, hey man, this is not working, let's switch sites, right? But we always try to find the most profitable opportunities, and this should be something that is decided in conjunction, okay? Last few ones. How do you find leaks in your opponents, even if they are some of the best players in the world? Do the best players in the world have leaks? And if they do, how do you find them?
Yeah. I don't want to say how, but everybody has leaks, and people give Saulus can say that timing tells everywhere, sizing tells everywhere. You just as you get experience, you can spot when someone's like under bluffing center spot or over bluffing, and if you understand theory, it just takes like one showdown to you to understand what the guy is doing. Like if you see a guy checking a pure bluff, he's probably under bluffing, right? If you see a guy like bluffing a pure check, he's probably over bluffing. So you go by that. You have to understand how the games works, and then you get the showdowns, and you will see like what patch your enemy is taking, right? Like okay, so he's deviating to this side, deviating to that side. So yeah.
It's very interesting to talk about that because I saw a Instagram story from Yuri Zvialeski, one of the best players in the world in MTTs, and also he plays mixed games, cash games, and I think someone asked him, what is a big leak that most people don't realize? And he said exactly that, like most pros don't realize they have huge sizing tells. Do you see that? Do you think a lot of pros have sizing
Everywhere.
tells and they don't realize? Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Holy
Yeah.
shit. That's
Everywhere.
crazy. So you're watching this right now, and you currently can't exploit your 50-0 regs. The guy here sitting and saying how nosebleed players have sizing tells everywhere. So take that and go to sleep. Wake next morning with the desire to put this to your advantage. All right. In your journey to 500L, sounds like you played a lot. How did you fit in studying during that time?
As I say, like was like really in organic way, like studying between sessions, watching classes, watching videos, watching content on YouTube. Like literally, my life is like 24 hours poker. If I was not grinding, I was like watching some videos, studying some hands, and going back to grind again. So yeah, in this way, like that, I find time like. Yeah.
Yeah,
I,
no
I used
structure.
to
So
I used to put like poker videos to sleep. Like I would go to sleep and put poker videos and fall asleep while listening to poker.
imagine the guy in his bed falling asleep too. Oh my
Yeah.
god, so good. Last one. Do you accept players from the US for whom site options are limited? Yes, my friend. Yes, we do accept players from the US. The US actually has, because a lot of sites are closed, you do have some of the better pools available, and therefore, if you can get the proper guidance and proper instruction, you can make a lot of money, and it's a very, very win-win proposition, right? So for sure, we also take players from the US. Guys, I'm going to recommend again you guys to click the link here in the description of the video, or click the link that you see in the chat to send your application. This is a very significant moment for a history here in metagame, where we have a lot of players playing high stakes and a lot of players who are going to be helping you in your journey to get where they already are where you want to get, right? We have a lot of people here already playing and making money at the limits that you dream of playing, that you dream of getting there and making money. And we have people like Pedro, someone who just won almost $1 million in a year and is still humble enough to say how he learns from his students and how he learns from everyone, right? So it's not just about the stakes, not just about the money. It's also about the people, right? We have people here that are committed to helping you improve your game and reach higher stakes and achieve your goals in this game. All right, so really happy to be making this event. Very happy to have you here, Pedro, for your story, for your journey, to have made, some contribution to your development, to see you rise. And I gotta say, I'm super excited to see how further you can go and how many more world championships you're gonna get, and the nosebleed games you're going to beat, and live games. Like, I want to see you taking over the world, man, because I'm pretty sure you can get there. And I think your career has just begun, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. Let's fucking do it. And yeah, I want to see it too. Like, let's see how far we go, but we are going far, man. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so sick, man. Congratulations once again. Thanks
Thank you.
everyone who jumped in to watch. I hope you guys enjoyed the documentary. If you guys want to reach out for questions or doubts, send me a message over Discord. You can find me at Saulo Costa 10 on Discord, or you can also reach out directly to our social pages on Instagram, or even our website at cash.metagame.poker. Okay, cash.metagame.poker. Find us, let's talk, let's hear you about your situation, and let's find a way to get you moving up in stakes and achieving your dreams with poker. Thanks so much, guys. Thank you, Pedro.
Thank you, guys. Valeu, Saulo. Come to Metagame, guys.
Let's go.
See you.
See you, my friends. Bye-bye.
Bye.